I'm going to be talking about gaining the education you need for leadership. How do you gain? How do you know you're going to have the education that you need for leadership? Is it by going to Harvard and getting a Harvard education, or going to Yale, Princeton, Columbia, any of those particular universities, Oxford University, that will guarantee you'll have the education for leadership? Well, there's a lot of people that have graduated from those that didn't really become good leaders, and so evidently that's not the only thing there is to it. One of the things you need to do is develop what Woodrow Wilson, which was, the former President Wilson, back during World War One, and it was the president of Princeton University and the governor of New Jersey for a while. That you are to develop the spirit of learning, and this is one of the things which he exhorted the professors at the university to learn how to teach the students to develop that spirit of learning. Just like as if it was a gigantic spirit, a spirit that goes from galaxy to galaxy or something. It's like a spirit that is there that gets in you and causes you to have a hunger for learning, a great desire for learning, great inspiration to want to know more. And once that is instilled, then that sort of takes over and does the work. And then you're not just going to the university just to become a guinea pig for some professor's ideas. And we have all too much of that, to nowadays, where professors, they have their own philosophy and ideas, and they don't necessarily even you can't be guaranteed that they even have a well-rounded education. They just maybe got educated enough in that particular area and were motivated to teach their ideas, and so they got their education to the extent that they could, get a full professorship and teach that. And they carved out a niche for themselves in that way. And so you go there and you just become a guinea pig for them, and they just instill your mind with their ideas. But you need to really take responsibility for your own education. Where do I want to go, and what's the best way to get there, and what's the best ideas? And then don't just gain an appreciation for the particular professors that are over the classes that you're taking, but develop an appreciation for all the professors that went on in the past, that lived in the past, and all the books that were written in the past. They were great professors too, and they had a lot to teach people. So it's not just the modern professors, but all of the professors and everything that has gone down from the beginning of our country until now, and from the beginning of Western civilization until now, that you need to, and the other systems, you can learn things from the Eastern philosophies and all the other stuff, but get an appreciation for these other systems of education and understanding and philosophies that went on before, and give them attention too. Spend time with their books. Spend time learning their understanding of life, their understanding of education, and especially you want to gain an understanding of what created the heritage of the country in which you are living. Whether you're living in England or whether you're living in China or Japan or Africa or Asia or India, wherever you're living. You want to understand and then hopefully the university will require certain courses that will give you that understanding, but you can't be guaranteed of that. And so you have to take your own it upon yourself to make sure that you gain a proper understanding and appreciation for the heritage of the country which you are a part of, and are able to communicate that, and learn, and able to, properly debate that and understand that and speak to that with others, and pass that on in your own way, whether you become a professor or a leader. And now, make sure that you gain the ability to appreciate not only what you can find out on the internet, but what you can find out just in library research, just spending time in libraries, just trying to understand what books have been written and why they were written, and gain an appreciation for the fact that at one time the printing presses and all were not running to the extent that they are now and putting out any and everything. There was a time when people would spend their whole lifetime just putting their energies into writing one book, or maybe 20 years in writing a book. And they would spend all years and years and years researching to come up with something that was really valuable. It wasn't just putting down the top of the mind thoughts that would, just get a quick buck. And we learn to appreciate the difference between a lot of the modern books that are written and the books that were written several years ago. And so this is one of the things that we really need to get into too. Now, if you're preparing for leadership as far as in the area of politics, the leadership of being a leader in either your local community or a governor of your state or a state representative or senator, congressman, or a president of the United States or anything like that, it takes a special preparation. And unfortunately, there's not any course that I've ever seen. I've seen almost all of them, I think. A lot of courses in a lot of different universities, been to a lot of different universities. I have not seen a course that says becoming president 101. We should have that, because we're getting a lot of leaders that seem like they need a course like that. A course that says becoming a senator 101 or becoming a congressman 101 or a governor or a local leader. But there's really not any course like that. And so you have to develop your self-education and your ability and your spirit of learning to the extent that you are able to look ahead with your own intuitional power and your own sixth sense. And of course, the more you read, the more you understand, the more that sixth sense will be developed. But you have to be able to look forward in your own sixth sense and see what it is that's going to prepare you the best for that office, because it's something that no one is really really standing by to tell you, unless you maybe specifically go to your political science teacher and specifically ask questions about it. You might get some ideas that way, but it's not probably never going to actually be in a lecture. It'll include some ideas about it in some lectures, but mainly you're going to have your own intuitional power to be able to say what books, like for instance, am I going to read a book by some of the past some of the past congressmen, some of the past leaders, some of the past foreign service officers? Am I going to read books by people like Henry Kissinger, national security advisors, and secretaries of state? And then you have to ask yourself, which secretaries of state are the most important? And am I going to read books by past presidents? Which past presidents are most important? What biographies would be the most important for me to read? The ones that would get to the heart of the message. And what speeches do I need to study and read? And it is good to read past speeches of good political leaders that could speak well, and learn from that how to speak well, how to be eloquent, how to be a good orator, and so forth and so on. And you need to learn that as early as you can in life so you have time to practice it. And then begin to ask yourself, well, what do I need to know about all the different governmental offices and the size of government, and what do I need to know about economics, and and the extent of it in the macro and the micro areas. And one of the best books, there's a lot of books written on economics, so which ones are the best ones? Do I want to get into the ones that utilize, all filled with calculus and formulas and all that kind of, do I just want to get into ones by great economic leaders like Bernard Baruch or somebody like that that can give me an idea about what economics is really all about the free enterprise system? Martin Feldman? There's another one I'm trying to think of. But these different economic leaders in our history, you'll find them in libraries, and you'll see it in the economic section. Go through the economic section and look at all the different ones and decide which one of those are the most important. Study those. Our different leaders like Henry Kissinger and Martin Luther King and people like that who have written a lot of books. Richard Nixon, interestingly enough, has written a lot of books, which are very deep. The books he wrote after he got out of office, after he learned all of his lessons, very deep. Do I need to read all of those? Yes. I mean, the one that's called Sixth Crisis, for instance, and so forth and so on. And I'm going to continue these lessons as I go on. There's a lot of stuff. We're just barely scratching the surface. But you continue to listen, and I'm going to go through all of these different areas, and until I get it all covered. And so thank you very much for listening to this, and I hope it helped. Put your comments in down below. Ask the questions. I can make new videos about the questions and to answer your questions. Thank you very much.